All right, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Monday, March 9th, 2020, and without making any kind of a joke here, I'm deadly serious. It appears that we are going to have a Black Monday, a very Black Monday. Stock futures are now pointing towards an over 1,300 point drop in the Dow Jones Industrial Average at the open. Last night, stock futures went limit down. Stock futures were halted. Don't be surprised to see that happen again today. I want to draw your attention to something else. Do not be surprised as well to see safe haven assets fall. Silver is under pressure right now. Gold is barely higher. Cryptocurrencies got hit as well. Again, people, I explained this to you. We have a market that is hyper leveraged. Margin debt is at all-time record highs. So what does this mean? Margin calls are going to be issued as stocks drop. So, again, safe haven assets are going to be liquidated. That means they're going on sale. Okay? So you should expect, in fact, I wrote about this yesterday. I've spoken about it many times. Expect these things to happen in this environment. Now, let's go over more of what's happening here. People, the yield curve is literally crashing. I want to go over real-time numbers with you. It is 5:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here. Let's talk about the yield curve first. It's incredible. We are actually making history. I'm almost speechless. We're seeing things in the yield curve that no one would have ever believed would happen here in the United States, which is turning into a banana republic. The U.S. 10-year yield right now is 0.42%, and the 30-year is cratered, 0.86. It's unheard of. It's unheard of what we are seeing here. And this really may be just beginning. I expect this to fall further moving forward. Then I also expect a snapback. The debt bubble has not even begun to burst. And this is what we're seeing here in the markets. It's incredible. Crude oil. You all know my target. I said the fair value for crude oil, I've been talking about this for the longest time, is between $25 and $27 a barrel. It has been artificially propped up like you cannot believe. And right now, crude oil is at $31.50 a barrel. We're probably going to hit my target here. That's fair value, okay? Nothing in this market makes sense. And I'll tell you something else that's no surprise to you. We just found out this morning that the Federal Reserve is now vastly increasing their repo operations. Now, I explained this to you. When the Fed said months ago that they were going to end this at one point, they were going to taper it, I said, no, they're not going to. There's no way they can do this here. If the Fed were to stop right now with their repo operation, could you imagine what the yield curve would look like? It would be the most inverted in history. Now, the other thing I want you to understand, please, is the reason why the Fed is involved with the Wall Street banks passing cash back and forth, one bank to the other overnight, again, one, is to keep the short end of the yield curve pinned down, but also to give the illusion of liquidity. People, we are drying up. A credit freeze is coming. What does it mean? We had it before in 2008. People don't remember it. Again, they're distracted with all kinds of things. A credit freeze means transactions stop. No interbank lending. Businesses can't borrow cash to function. ATMs, no cash in the banks. Your debit card won't work. Your credit card won't work. Nothing, okay? Nothing. There exists on the planet Earth $1.7 trillion in cash. That's it. The rest of it does not exist It's not on the elemental chart. Okay. They are trying desperately to prevent a credit freeze. What you need to do today is get some cash in your hand in the event of a credit freeze. Could come today, could come a week, a month, we don't know, but it's going to come. In my view, I've been talking about this for a very, very long time, just like I called the inverted yield curve 2 years before it happened. It's going to happen here again. We're getting a credit freeze. Go to your bank today, take out some cash, have it on hand. What will it mean for you if we get a credit freeze and you try to go to your ATM and get $20 and it doesn't happen? What would it mean for you if you go to your bank and they say there's no cash available? What would it mean for you? So think about these things, put this into perspective. And again, I want you to think about this. Market set to crater, 1,300 points, your 401ks, your investments that only make money when the stock market goes up. That cash is not going to money heaven. It's going to other people's hands. It's going to the Wall Street banks. It's going to the hedge funds. It's going to people like me. Okay? That's the truth. People are so trapped right now, and my heart goes out to them. Start getting involved with what's happening. Your investments right now, again, if you have an investment vehicle that only makes money when stocks go higher, is in a bubble. They're all in a bubble. All hyperinflated on the back of a debt bubble, which is about to get much, much worse. Understand, debt is the problem. It's not the solution here. But you're going to hear calls from the president, from Larry Kudlow, from other members of the administration. We need more debt. We need more debt. Negative rates. People, you got to be brain dead to believe that this is the solution. It is not the solution. It is the problem. I've been explaining this to you since time immemorial. They can't stop. This is an engineered meltdown. It's a wealth transfer effect. That's all. And the middle class is about to be exterminated on an epic scale globally. Globally. That's the grand plan here. I know it sounds like science fiction, sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's happening right before your eyes and it's in your face. Okay? So you can sit there like a deer in the headlights, like most people are going to do, nothing. You're going to get on the phone with your fund managers and they're going to say, don't do anything, leave your investments alone as the market melts down and your wealth gets transferred. Make up your own mind. Use your own intellect. You understand? This is what you need to do in this environment. We all knew this has been in the works since the re-propping up of these markets in 2008. Let me just go over this real quick. In 2008, when the market crashed, it was looking to do its one and only job, like it's doing now, to determine fair value. President Obama and the Federal Reserve chose to reinflate a stock market bubble and reinflate a housing bubble. All they needed to do was one thing: unfreeze the credit markets. That's it. That was all they needed to do and let the market do its own thing. But no, they wanted to reinflate these bubbles. President Trump said, wow, this works. Let's continue this. Although he called out the Fed and he called out Obama during the campaign, saying the Fed was artificially suppressing rates to make Obama look good, to inflate the stock market. This was candidate Trump. The man had it right. But then he takes over the reins from Obama and the Fed says, wow, this works really well. I'm going to keep it going. He has hyperinflated a stock market bubble on the back of a super hyperinflated debt bubble. Again, engineered to transfer wealth. That's what's been going on here since this whole thing started, and it's happening today. You are legally being robbed. Legally, and you can't do anything about it. You're powerless unless you choose to take action. People, if you've been following my work, you're already in the right spots if you have heeded what I have said. I have told you, bet against this debt. Become your own central bank. Hold hard assets. Get out of the dollar, which is getting cremated right now. the stock market is in a massive bubble, and everyone's all gleeful about their 401ks. How many times did I tell you you're not going to be so gleeful when this wealth transfer effect is happening? You're being robbed blind right before your eyes. No surprise to any of you that have followed my work. I've explained this to you. I've told you everything that would happen before it did. So, no shock to you. If you are losing right now, you should have expected it because I told you it was coming. If you got yourself into the right spots like I have explained to you, you're smiling. You are sitting pretty. You're absolutely sitting pretty here. Pretty much that's where we are at, people. So let's summarize. Stocks set to crater at the open. We got just about a half of an hour. Let me tell you where we're at. Oil still about $31.50 per barrel, which is extremely stock market negative. It's going to hit the energy sector and the financials. You know that. You know that. I've been explaining this to you since time immemorial. Let's look at the yield curve. There is no curve anymore. 10-year yield, 0.42. 30-year, 0.86. Let's look at the stock futures. I'm wondering if we hit limit down here. Again, on stock futures are frozen right now. Stock futures are frozen. Wow. Okay. But we're down 13. The Dow is set to open down 1303.78, and they're not moving. I think we just hit limit down again. Wow. That's pretty incredible. All right, look. So that's where we are at, people. Markets are frozen. That's what it looks like right now. The pre-markets are frozen. Wow. I don't know what else to say here. We got to keep our eyes on this. And like I said, people, go to your bank today and get some cash out. Have cash on hand. Be ready for a credit freeze. Be ready for all transactions to stop. Be ready for you not to access any of your cash at all. Be ready for bank runs as well. I mean, be ready for a worst case scenario. You always have to have the high ground. If you choose to not have the high ground, you're going to get slaughtered, okay? Don't let that be you. This guy loves you. Please share the video. I will be tweeting all day about what's going on. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, my chat room on my website, traderschoice.net. Please take advantage of my website. Everything is free there. The charts, there's charts there on crude oil, gold, silver, Bitcoin. Use this resource. It's all for you. It's not for me. All right. Love you a lot. See you later.